I am so glad you are here. I'm Liz with Magus Books and Herbs, and it is alive on Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. Let's get into it. I usually start with what am I drinking, what am I wearing? I did not have time to make any tea today, so I have nothing to drink, sadly, but I am wearing some very nice jewelry from a few different suppliers. You can see my little lotus pinky, my little turquoise, isn't that gorgeous turquoise ring. I've got a little 3 metal ring and a lovely cut amethyst. It's a fairly pale, almost smoky amethyst. I love the color on this guy, but beautiful, beautiful jewelry. Oh, my little microphone is tipped down. That might help if it's sitting where it should be. On to what on earth is going on here? Well, this Saturday, the 14th of March, Journey into Magical Practice begins at 2. Now, the wonderful people who plan it will be here at noon setting up. So if you want to check that out, by all means, come on in sometime before 2. You can meet them, attend the event. And it's worth seeing just for the elaborate stage setting they do for an event. It's the most visual set of rituals that I have ever seen in my life. It's just absolutely breathtaking. Total recommend. But they have the classroom the whole day for setup, the event, and teardown. They are delightful folks. You'll love meeting them if you haven't met them already. That's Journey into Magical Practice. And the following day on Sunday at noon, that's the 15th, we'll have Reiki 1 available. So if you want to start your Reiki journey, this is definitely the class for you. How long the class takes depends on how many people sign up, because we do the attunements the old-fashioned way, meaning one-on-one. So we will go through some basic information for a couple of hours, talk through anything anyone wants to talk through, and then we have an opportunity to meditate while each individual person in turn gets their first degree attunement. And after that, we take some time to practice Reiki on each other. So all told, this could be all day. It could be 3 hours. Really depends on how many people have signed up, how long those attunements take, the practice time. I will even ask if my employee wants to be a guinea pig, and I will take their place behind the register and let them be a guinea pig for folks just trying on their Reiki for the first time. I've also had people attend that class who are redoing their Reikis because they want to recommit, so they want to get their first degree over again. Reiki is permanent unless you do something negative with it, so it's not necessary. I get the idea of reaffirming it and going through the experience again, and I don't have a problem with it because I let those folks do that. But just keep in mind, if you got Reiki 10 years ago and you just haven't done anything with it in the interim, you dropped the practice a few years later and you're just rusty, you can go through Reiki 1 again if you'd like, but you could also pick up a book, look at your old notes if you still have them, and come to a Reiki Share, which is a free event here once a month, which I'll be talking about in a moment, and get your feet back under you with Reiki Share and adopting that daily Reiki practice that we all recommend. I think every instructor recommends that. Later that same day, on Sunday the 15th, the Chronic Illness Support Group run by Jessica Settergren will be here. You can also find her book on dealing with a chronic health issue. In her case, it was going through cancer and the first stages of discovery and then the process of getting the cancer into remission. Of course, that journey continues beyond that point for those folks, but whether you're dealing with RA or lupus or cancer or any one of a number of things, migraines, constant migraines, anything that is a chronic health issue for you, and you are looking for a support group that is a little more alternative spirituality friendly, then this is a great place for you to meet up with like-minded people who are also going through the hardships of those kinds of chronic disorders and diseases. So 4 p.m., Sunday, the 15th of March, fabulous time. Of course, tonight, Wednesday, I'm teaching year 3 in the herbal program. Last night on Tuesday, I taught year 1 in the herbal program. I'm taking a year off of year 2. So if you're interested in those programs, they usually start in the fall, and they're either every night, once a week for 9 months, or sometimes they will offer them in an all-day seminar that meets once a month where we do the whole month's worth of classes. It does take all day, just to warn you, because it's about 5.5 plus hours of class. And once you're adding in a couple of bathroom breaks and a lunch break, it's 7.5 or more hours. So it's a fabulous time. The crew we've got for year one this year is amazing. And of course, the year three students, lovely, lovely humans. Loved working with them all through this. So excited because someone who had hip surgery is actually going to be live in the classroom tonight instead of online. Fabulous. Now on the 21st and 22nd and also the 20th, that whole weekend is Paganicon. I will be there, which does tabling, which does mean that a feral 16-year-old will be roaming around waiting for me to text him, come give me a break. So be warned, he's out there. He's a lot of fun and loves a good intellectual discussion. So if your head is filled with ideas and he finds you, you're going to have a good time. While I'm at Paganicon on Sunday the 22nd, the Reiki Share would normally be taking place. You guys are on your own because I'll be at Paganicon. And at 4 p.m. on Sunday the 22nd, Eshu's class on palmistry will be happening again. His palmistry classes are fantastic. They get great reviews, and he always covers another aspect of palmistry in each class. And you do not need to be someone who attends every single class. So if you've never taken the class before, don't think you're breaking into a series that you won't understand. Every single class is geared to somebody who's not done anything with palmistry before. It's just covering a new aspect of palmistry in the series that he's already doing. So it's like a merry-go-round. You can hop on at any point and go the full circle if you want to. It's brilliant. The following weekend on Saturday, the 28th at noon, the Alliance Coven will be having their Dedicants class here. That Dedicants class is not an open class, but if you want to meet the people involved, meet the teachers, I'd recommend coming here around 2 when they're getting out, and then you can check out that group, what the personalities are like, what you can ask them questions about their philosophies and practices. Great group of people, really thoughtful instructors, and they have been doing the kind of teaching they're doing for themselves with Alliance Coven and previously with another group, and they were getting amazing good reviews even when they first started teaching the material they're teaching now. So highly recommend. What else did we? Oh yeah, on Saturday the 28th, Adam's magical astrology class. Fantastic. Of course, I think they're all wonderful, right? But he really knows his astrology, and how to use astrology magically is just a fascinating subject, and he handles it so well. On Sunday, the 29th of March, we will have Thomas in. Thomas is a drum maker by trade. He builds drums. He is a drummer himself. And he was going to be in demonstrating a new drum he has developed. He's adopted the sort of musicality of 3 different drums and sort of made an amalgam. This is the type of drum that produces different tones. It's a wood drum, so it produces different tones depending on how and where it's hit. He's going to be doing a little demo of that. It's going to be fantastic. It's completely free. By the way, everything I've talked about today is either completely free or by donation, with the exception of that 9-month-long herbal series. There is an upfront fee for that. Now, I need to mention, and I've taken to having to write a giant reminder for myself on the bottom of my dates list, parking. If you are coming to visit us and there is on-street parking available, you see a spot, grab it. It's free on-street parking here. You can park potentially right outside our door, which is fantastic. But if it's all full, if everything is full, there's a car or some kind of vehicle in every spot, my best recommendation for you, just to make your life easy, is to park in the parking lot of St. Clement's Catholic Church. It is 1 block south of us, and it is a half a block west of us. So at the intersection, our closest intersection is Central and Lowry. If you are at that intersection, you turn west onto Lowry, and half a block down or so will be a parking lot. It's clearly a parking lot that you can enter from Lowry. It's about halfway down the block. It's free to park there now. It is going to get converted to a pay lot just so that they have the money to maintain the lot well, maybe get it resurfaced, repainted, a little more lighting out there, that kind of thing. They're not charging an arm and a leg. It's the parking rates that have been discussed so far. Nothing's finalized, so I'm not going to say anything yet. But so far, the parking rates that have been discussed really are just help us out maintaining the lot kind of fees. They're not gouging anybody by any stretch of the imagination. But the church itself is on the opposite side of the block to where you'll enter the parking lot. So parishioners, church volunteers, folks like that, they're naturally going to park very far away from where you want to park. You will not be in their way at all. I'm parked there right now. I park there at least 5 days a week, 6 days last week. And I always take the same spot if I can get it. So my car is always in the same spot. But St. Clement's Catholic Church, you'll have to walk maybe a block to get to us. It's a real quick walk. Absolutely worth it if you can't find on-street parking because it's full here. So that's what's happening. It's what I'm wearing. Did not put any scarves on today, kids. I do have, you guys can't actually see this. Is this not gorgeous? This is made by one of the local people in town who reclaim and repurpose jewelry. So these are usually broken jewelry she's finding in charity shops or at estate sales or garage sales, and she repurposes them into new, beautiful things. So that's that. What have I got for you for treats? What's come in? Well, we did get restocked in our most affordable incense. Isn't that such a polite way to say that? This is the new flavor that came that we were able to put out. They've discontinued a couple of flavors that we've carried for a long time, and I've opted to replace a flavor that is good, but just doesn't sell quite as often as the rest of them. So Harlequin is out. The one that's going away that we still have a little of is a tropical one. It's Carmen Miranda's hat. Yeah, Carmen Miranda's hat. If you don't know who Carmen Miranda was, Google away, but she wore fruit-laden hats for Hollywood so she could make a living. It's a fabulous little set, but they've discontinued it, so we've opted to replace it with something. Something else will be going in there soon. And if you loved the baking brownies, come grab it because we've let that one go. And when that jar is empty, there's another flavor that's standing in line to replace it. Can't remember both flavors. I know Champa Flower is one of the flavors that's coming in when those jars are empty, and we can put a new sticker on top of the jar and put new incense in it. But otherwise, everything is fully stocked. Everything kind of looks like this. Now, for stuff that's come in, I've got a few things to show you. I'm going to show you this one because it's the last copy of this we're going to have. It's the last of the almanacs from Llewellyn Publishing that we've got in-house. And this is we're not going to get it again. So if you were looking for this one, come grab it. I just wanted to warn you. But I've also got a bunch of new releases from Llewellyn that have come in. So this is a rebranding of some of Ted Andrews' stuff. I picked up his Psychic Protection book. A little iffy on how many of Ted Andrews' books I'm going to carry. If you guys can leave a comment. Oh, I see we've got some comments, and I don't have them up. I'm sorry. What have we got there? Oh, hey, guys. I see you. This looks great. But this is one of his books. Let me know what you think of Ted Andrews, his legacy, his reputation today. Should we bring in more of them? They all kind of look like this one. The covers are all formatted very similarly, but this is his book on psychic protection. So of all of them, I thought I would give this one a test run. So they're technically new releases because they've been redone. Manifesting by the Moon. We're working out time to interview this author. I'm very excited about it. This will be a fun one for your basic pagan or Wiccan or witchy magic. Looking for something that is more Eastern European inspired in your practices? Slava. This is a good book. I have read chunks of it and I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the perspective. For me, it answers some questions about practices that are just labeled as historical that don't seem to quite jibe in my head with other historical practices. Like, oh, it came from here. This is the part of the world it came from. Oh, I love that about this book. It's very practical. It's very useful. Tempest Sakharov, who has done several decks, divination decks, tarot decks, etc., has now come out with Tarot by Tempest. This is her take on tarot readings, that kind of thing. So I do recommend. I think we might still have one piece of her art in a print in the shop. Then we've also got by Tracy Quinlan, Charting Love with Astrology is another new release by them. So if you are interested in romance and marriage compatibility, partnership, romantic partnership, chart casting, when you're comparing two charts, this is a good book to grab, a good book to pick up for that. And then I have by a wonderful, more ceremonialist author. She's written a novel. So this is by Dolores Ashcroft Nowicki. I can say it. I really can. It's called Johnny Nova. And the subtitle is A Novel of the Age of Aquarius. I have not had time to dive into this one yet, but it is sort of a novel that I would say is about a fictional character diving into the occult as the age of Aquarius is coming into play. So it's taking a lot of the ideas that have been prevalent for like the last 50 years or so in ceremonial magic, paganism, Wicca, witchcraft, all of those things. And it is, let's see, I'll just read you a little paragraph. Johnny is the lead singer of the famous mid-90s rock band White Heat, living the stereotypical rock star life until he receives mysterious messages about his destiny. Suddenly, Johnny is taken to the Abbey of the Dawn, and his spiritual journey begins. So if you ever wanted to understand ceremonial magic more, but found the materials a little dry, this is the book for you. I think her writings on the subjects that she's written on, the nonfiction subjects she's written on, have been clear, concise, easy to grasp, easy to handle. I think she does a great job presenting the information. So I suspect the novel is going to be at least a good read. I don't know how great, but definitely at least a good read. So I do recommend checking it out if you're interested in the subject matter, if you want to pick up a good novel. The next thing I have to show you guys is something that is not going to be out on the store floor in this form. These are specifically for me to bring to Paganicon. And some of the things I'm going to show you, we have here in the shop. They're hanging up. If you purchase them, you'll literally be taking the thing off the wall. And some I don't have the design. Some of these designs I do not have yet. This is one we do have, so I'm hoping you guys can see it through the packaging. This is a tapestry. It's 29 inches by 37 inches. It's photography by Todd F. Jardy. Todd, let me know how to say that correctly. I want to get it right. This size is $40. If you love this, we may have the larger size out on the floor. There's a bigger size than this, but for Paganicon, I'm going to be bringing these, and I have a whole bunch of designs. This, for example, is one we don't have here. Then there's this beauty. Isn't she cute? But I've got a whole bunch here. I'm not going to show them all to you, or it would be another 5 minutes, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more to show you. There might be a duplicate in there, so at least a handful, if not more. They will be at the table. I am very excited to be bringing them because I know they're not going to be there. The other piece from he and his partner is her wire wrapping, and I've got a few that we've got in the system already that are going to the show first. They're not going to be out on the floor, so you're going to have to pick them up at Paganicon. But her wire wrapping is absolutely exquisite. The way she makes delicate wrapping look flawless and easy is just amazing. They have a whole new line of these lava stone pieces, and these lava stone pieces are perfect if you want to carry a little scent, but you don't want to anoint your skin. You just drop a little of the essential oil on the lava stone, whether it's beautifully turned into jewelry like this or not, and that essential oil will stay attached to the stone and slowly release its fragrance over time. So there's a whole bunch of styles of these that she's got. They've got some simple wrapped points, some simple wrapped tumbled stones, but they have them on these leather chains or leather cords, because if they don't do the leather cord, she makes the chain herself out of this type of material that she's wrapped the stone in, often in copper or this silver colored metal material. So these are tending to range mostly in the 30s from what I'm seeing, like 32, 35, mid to low 30s for the most part. So these will be there. There will be more. We did not have time to finish processing everything in because there are so many unique items. They all need their own entries. So we're only about halfway through processing the jewelry that I will be bringing specifically that comes from Entwined by Design is the name they've chosen. I'm so excited by that name. I love that name, both for the tapestries and for the jewelry. Entwined by Design. Just beautiful names. So that's what I've got that's come in. I've been showing you some of our used books that have been up online, and I'm going to show you a few today. Look at this. The Golden Dawn hardcover. And I happen to have volumes 1 and 2 and volumes 3 and 4 as a set. The complete set. Look at the condition. They're just fantastic. So if you want to get into Golden Dawn and you want, or if you're just collecting antique stuff, they're probably going to go for, it's going to depend on the market. I don't have a price on here yet, but we are talking about something in the hundreds for that one. Then there's The Magical Dilemma of Victor Newberg. Should be fun. And the other one I brought up, and they're going to be upstairs for at least a few weeks, up in the used bookcase, is A Study in Consciousness by Annie Besant. Now, Annie Besant was one of the people who was a founder and a forward motion person on Theosophy. What is Theosophy? In a nutshell, and this is a pretty short nutshell, Theosophy is people who thought Jesus was cool and still wanted to do yoga in the Victorian, Edwardian eras. So this is an original. It's got a little bit of damage on the bottom, but otherwise it's in really excellent shape for a cloth-bound hardcover book. When did this beauty come out? This is a reprint done in 1915. You can kind of tell from the cover it's from that era. Fabulous stuff. There's a whole bunch more in the rare used bookcase up here. So come check them out if you want to see what we've got. Once or twice a year, we open up the vaults in the basement, and you can see everything we've got up online and everything we haven't gotten to getting up online yet. So we've got stuff on ABE. So if you look for Magus Books on ABE, you can find us there. And we've got a few titles still up on Amazon. So you can still find a few things up on Amazon. Again, Magus Books is what you want to look for there. The Amazon bought ABE at one point, so they have been sort of changing their policies in a way that encourages us to embrace ABE. If you think we should go to yet another used book selling site, well, eventually we'll stop selling on Amazon, at least for used books. So make your suggestions by all means. I'm all ears. But that's the stuff. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is a question I get asked a lot, which is how do I get started in fill in the blank? I'm going to be kind of mean and say the way you get started is by starting. Do something, do anything. By all means, pick up a book, get some advice, maybe even find a book with a ritual you want to try, be it the LBRP or house cleansing or what have you, but do the thing. And maybe the first time you follow it exactly. Now, if it's the LBRP, yeah, you're going to want to memorize it. You're going to want the lesser banishing ritual. You're going to want to do it verbatim because that's how ceremonial magic works. It's set up for you to, at least particularly for the first few years, follow all the rules. Understand the rules by practicing, and then you can make changes. I would say in the pagan, Wiccan, and witchcraft sphere, it is different. I might follow the ritual the first time I do it exactly as written, especially if I'm a beginner, just to try it out. But I'm going to feel perfectly free in my own copy of that book to make a lot of notes, or in a journal, if I'm a journal-y kind of person, make a lot of notes about what worked, what didn't work, what I liked, what I didn't like, and start making changes from there. Now, if you have a ritual you want, but you're looking at the ritual and you're going, well, I don't have all the stuff. You do not need to go buy all the stuff. It's more important that you do it than that you do it perfectly. So do the thing. You don't have the right herb and you're not sure what to replace it with, by all means, check. Buy an herbal correspondence book, check online for herbal magical correspondences or a stone correspondence or what have you. But even if all you can do is get a picture of the crystal or the herb on your phone, use it. It's more important to do than to be perfect. Don't let perfection stop you from practicing. It is a practice after all, which means that you're going to get better at it as time goes on. You will acquire more tools that actually mean something to you and matter to you, and that you will actually find helpful than like randomly going out and just buying all the things that some book says you should go buy right now. So first piece of advice, do practice. Try things out. That's the whole point of what you're doing in the first stage is you're trying stuff on. You don't know if it's going to fit you yet. You're not going to know until you really dig into it and do it. And that includes finding groups, whether it's a lodge or a circle or what have you. You don't know if you're going to fit with that particular group until you hang out with that particular group. Someone's calling the store. We're not open yet. Nope, I don't know who that is. Sorry, whoever that is. But getting to know a group of people and deciding whether or not you want to practice with them in particular also matters. And if the group doesn't fit you, it doesn't mean the path doesn't fit you. It really might be just personality clash. Try again with another similar group if you can find one, and then decide if this path that you think you want to go down maybe attracts people that you're just not going to be simpatico with, and you should find something else, another practice somewhere, right? Beyond that, if someone or something, a resource of some kind, suggests that you do something that you wind up feeling not comfortable about, don't do it. Just don't do it. Walk away in the middle if you have to. There is nothing wrong with that. Just like finding the right practice, the right path, the right people counts, so does your personal empowerment. That's why we all do this, is to become better people and find joy in our lives. So if it's not helping you become a better person and it's not giving you joy, don't do it. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. I know, complex message, right? I'm full of complex advice today. Try it out, do the thing. If you don't like the thing, don't do the thing. That's it. And the other thing I would add to all of that is do something every single day, even if it only takes a minute or two of your time. That LBRP I mentioned from Ceremonial Magic, once you've got it memorized, it takes all of about a minute, maybe 2 minutes to do. And maybe you repeat it multiple times a day, and that's great if you do, because there's one for the morning, there's one for noon, etc. But you don't have to. But fit something in every single day. Because if you don't practice, you don't grow in these traditions. You don't grow in your own personal practice, your own spiritual growth, your own magical growth is flat and stagnant if you don't do something every day. Now, if for a Reiki practitioner, that might just mean doing a little self Reiki every day, or maybe it just means going through the 5 intentions every single day. For a ceremonialist who's just starting out, LBRP is a great place to start. You'll hear that again and again and again online. It's advice we've given here at the shop over and over again. If it's something more in the pagan or Wiccan paths, then some small ritual. And maybe you start with something that fits in because you're going to eat food. You bless your food every day. The point is both the act you're doing and what it's doing for you, cleansing your space, blessing your food, reminding you to be the best person you can be, whatever that is and whatever it means to you. The other part of it is developing that self-discipline to do the thing every day and making that commitment to yourself and to your own growth and to your own importance to yourself in your life. You and your most beloved people in your life should be the center of your life. You need to be at the middle of that. You can't put your partner at the very center of your own life and be healthy. You need to put each other in the center of that partnership. And if you need time, you need to be able to take that time, even again, if it's just 10 seconds to draw a pentacle over your food to bless your food. Are you in a public place and don't feel comfortable? Grandma's not going to like it. Keep your hands under the table. Do it below your food. But make that little commitment to yourself, to your practice, and watch your abilities grow over time. And hopefully lead to adding in to that practice because it's a positive in your life. You start with something that takes a minute, and then suddenly you want to do a little bit more. You did something in the morning, you'd like to bookend it with something in the evening. Maybe you do the same practice, you just alter it enough so that it's about starting your day or ending your day. But maybe you add on a completely new skill set. This is fantastic. Maybe you only work with herbs in the morning, so you learn your magical herbs as you're going through this. Maybe you even do it as a tea so that it's health and magic. Don't die. Big rule there with the herbs. Maybe at the end of the day, you do something with crystals, solid, earthy, helping you wind down and go to sleep. It could be anything you want it to be. Maybe you only journal in the mornings and you put your intentions for the day down. Maybe in the evening, you do something completely different. You meditate. I don't know. Your practice is your practice. You get to shape it. You get to develop it. But do it. And always be looking for where the joy is and where the encouragement is to be a better person than you were the day before. As long as you do those two things, I think you got it covered. And you have the power to do these things. You have the power to set a daily practice. You have the power to do those rituals. And you have the power to acquire those tools, whether they fit exactly what's expected or they are the best thing you can do in the moment. I can remember a time when I didn't have an athame. I didn't own one. But the knife that meant the most to me was a reed carving knife because I was a music major and I was starting the process of learning to carve my own reeds. Well, a reed carving knife is a super thick, has a very sharp edge on one side of the blade, super thick on the other side, so you can literally put your thumb on the blade and carve with great precision. This is almost the opposite of an athame. And I am sure an athame snob would have told me it was completely inappropriate. But it's what I had that had meaning and was good to use. I didn't use it for very long, a few months, before I found an athame that I fell in love with and purchased and used and was very happy with. But I did not let not having a two-edged knife keep me from the practice. And I advise you to do the same. If you have questions about this kind of thing, by all means, drop comments. I do look at them. I'm happy to respond to them. If you want a faster response, give us a call here at the shop or stop by if you can. Email us through the website. We love questions here. But get started. And if you have gotten started, congratulations. Keep going, keep growing. Be excited about the next mountain of information, the next little mountain in your practice that you get to go scale and grow with and learn from. And just keep being excited about what you're doing. That's what counts. Well, I'm going to end here. It's just a little early, but that's okay. You only have me to listen to today. So have a wonderful week. And on behalf of myself here, along with everybody else at the shop, our readers, all the folks who work behind the counter, know that we think you are an amazing magical being. And we love all the magical things you do in your own life, and of course, the little magical ones you can do here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Have a fantastic week, and blessed be.